question. You were talking about schedule a little bit earlier. When you're looking at scheduling kids and stuff, did you have a chance to look at how you could schedule recess times around the gym? In other words, why I'm asking this is, on more than one occasion I've had someone from the public indicate it'd be nice to get our kids out of the hallways during inclement weather and utilize the gym during those periods of time. And I don't know if we can schedule that smarter or what, but
with the shared personnel that we have, to answer your question, no, I didn't actually look at that because I didn't have all of the schedule. I didn't have Denny's schedule till last week, and I will look at that. But I know that the complications that will arise is the shared personnel from
the PE
from the middle school is going to cause some. We have that same issue in Wall Lake at the elementary. On Mondays and Fridays, we have PE classes that go over the noon hour down there to try and get all the PE in, and they just end up in a little, it's almost like a foyer area at the end of the building, and that's where they have their recess when there's inclement weather.
I'd like to say one thing. I'd like to have Judy Spiro sitting here, because on more than one occasion, and she's heard these comments about, not being able to have recess, and her students, and she will tell you that they welcome the chance not to have recess either in the gym or outside occasionally. She said the kids like playing games because we never have time to play those. They use Legos, there'll be kids sitting and reading books, and I'm not disputing what you're saying, but there are staff who think a little bit differently about the fact that that's not awful. Now, if for a week we couldn't get them out for recess, that would be difficult, but I've never been around a school where that's been the case or that's been what's happened. So kind of the flip side of that, the Paul Harvey, the other side of the story is we've got staff that would tell you that's just fine to have recess in the hallways sometimes. Some kids have to stay in their classrooms to have them.
Can you tell us how often this actually happens? I mean, we hear comments and we don't know if it's happened once, whether it's happened 5 times, or whether this is something that happens all the time.
Are they, Doug, is the people that are concerned talking about a specific recess, or are they just saying recess in general?
Just the idea of, I've had the same comment, not recently, but maybe last year, about the fact of recess in the hall. Just the whole idea of it. Now, some of that explains it a little bit, but on the other hand, you look outside and you see a big play area. Well, it's raining, you understand that. Well, then you look at this end of the building, you see a big gym. So why would they be in the hall? It's just the whole concept of it.
Yeah, and it's scheduling is, that my comment would be scheduling.
Well, there's two reasons. Sometimes we don't take kids out because of wind chill or weather conditions in the winter. This winter, just think about the winter, and there'd be times where that decision would have been made that they were going to stay inside, but they would have gone to the gym. There are some conflicts with when the gym's available. I could pull the schedule out and I could look and tell you what that is, but we provided a schedule to the teachers so that they knew that if they had to have inside recess because of weather, that they knew when they could get to the gym and when they had to be in the hallway. But
are there gym classes scheduled, 2 gym classes scheduled at the same time for the gym? Yes, because the other idea that I had was just, well, why don't you pull the curtain and make them play basketball or dodgeball or whatever on the one side, and have the recess on the other side. But I don't know if there was
and I can't answer that question either.
A good portion of the time there is a middle school gym class on one side for full elementary school.
Or two middle school gym
classes. 2 middle school classes.
The other thing that will alleviate some of this, sadly to say, is 22 kids in kindergarten, 27 kids in first grade. That's just a section of PE, and all of a sudden there's another hour of PE a week that's never going to be a conflict with getting in the gym because we've reduced our need for PE. So, and we've got at least one other section in elementary here that's of a size that we'll put all those kids together for PE. So we have the chance, just because of the size of the elementary, for that to look different too. But no, and I even talked with the staff at a staff meeting, because a couple of several months ago, it came up for the first time at a board meeting, and I just asked the staff, is this a worry to you guys? And Judy stood up right away, and she's like, absolutely not. She said, I'm going to tell you why it's not. And she said, I'm not sure where that came from, but she said the kids that I have would tell you in third grade, you know, they like being inside. But we'll let you know when
Yeah,
we get.
the only thing I'm saying is maybe now that we're planning schedules, this would be a time to look at both of those pieces to maybe
Yeah.
Yeah,
schedule maybe a little smarter or something.
yeah.
Is there any possibility if there's any conflict to use the rec center? I mean, we're still tied in there somewhat. If there gets to be a conflict, could that be a possibility?
If that would be a schedule conflict, yeah. If that's a conflict that comes up because of weather, I don't know that we can provide enough notice, because that can be, you're out for morning recess, but noon you can't be out. So I'm not sure, you know, related to that kind of short notice. But if it was scheduled, I would imagine we probably could. Meaning that we just have a class that we can't schedule any differently, so we know every Wednesday at X time, PE would be a conflict. Yeah.
Just remember, you know, I'm thinking about some of the classes, you can get away with not having PE, but there are sometimes you have some classes that, you know, just because of the personalities that you have in them, it's not going to work. And they need to move around and get out of the classroom and do something